Hello fellow tech geeks, I'm Young John, and today on Tech Talk, I want to start with how Intel is screaming bloody murder about how Microsoft is working on putting Windows 10 to work on Qualcomm's chips. Now, they're two different platforms, so they have to use software emulation to make it work on the x86 instruction set. What that means is that Intel first came out with the 8086 chip, and their next generation was 386, and then it was 486, blah, 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 86. So they used the x86 instruction set. Now, they need to emulate that instruction set in order to make things work in the software side of things. So basically, the x86 instruction set is what they're trying to emulate. It hasn't been the first time. Transmeta tried this, and they used to make chips using software emulation, but Intel enforced its patents and kind of shut down their business. But unlike Transmeta, Qualcomm does have an army of lawyers and lots of money, so we shall see what happens. And there are some nice benefits to running Windows 10 on the Qualcomm chips, and like we talked about last time, they run smaller and cooler because they have smaller sized chips. Now they're running 10 nanometer manufacturing, whereas Intel's running 14 nanometer manufacturing, making the size much smaller. They run cooler, and they have integrated 5G LTE connectivity, which means automatically sort of connected to the internets, and they have better battery life. And Microsoft isn't the only company pushing for this. Other big companies are supporting this, such as Lenovo, Asus, and HP. Moving on to Microsoft, they're still trying to push Windows on all devices, no matter what the size of the screen, and they think they've come out with something great called Windows C Shell, which is a newer version of Windows Shell that adapts to different screen sizes. Now, they've been on about this for a very, very long time, how they can make Windows work on any device, any size, any input, but they haven't been so successful. We'll see what happens with the C Shell. Maybe they have something that'll work. Just when you thought Apple was giving up on its professional line of computers, they come up with this monster of an iMac Pro. It supports up to 18 Intel Xeon core processors and runs at up to 4.2 gigahertz. That is unbelievably fast. It's gonna feature a 27-inch 5K monitor with AMD Radeon Pro Vega graphics with up to 16 gigabytes of high bandwidth VRAM, offering 11 teraflops of power. And that's great for real-time 3D VR when it actually happens. It'll have all flash storage, no more rotating hard drives, so it'll be up to 4 terabytes of SSDs. It'll have up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. Just to keep things in perspective, most laptops have 8 gigabytes of RAM, up to 16, but they will have up to 128. It's got 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports, so you can link up to 2 5K displays, or 2 high-performance RAID arrays for offline storage. It's got a 10 gigabit Ethernet port, 4 USB 3 ports, and an SD card reader. It probably does run a liquid cooling solution because they say it's got an all-new thermal design with up to 80% cooling. It'll be available in December for a starting price of $4,999. It's not the cheapest, but they claim that it's cheaper than comparable PC, which will start at $7,000. On to mobile phones. OnePlus is finally launching their 5 mobile phone on June 20th. They're admitting that they're using the Snapdragon 835 chip, which is what most flagship cell phones do use, including the Samsung S8. They will have a fingerprint reader on the front side, and the probablys are a dual camera, lots of RAM because the last one, their 3T, had 6 gigabytes of RAM, and a big battery, which is from the grapevine, 3,600 milliamp hours. The biggest thing about OnePlus 5 is the DxO-backed camera. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, DxO tests and quantifies the quality of DSLRs and their lenses and all sorts of cameras. So since DxO's ratings are used as a reference across the board, this is a big deal. I think this will be the first for any cell phone maker to have a DxO backing. The quality is going to be great if DxO has anything to say about it. Nokia is working on their prototype flagship phone called the 9. Now, it's reported to have a 5.3-inch display, a 13 megapixel dual camera. It's got a Snapdragon 835 3.5 millimeter jack for the audio, and a USB-C port. Now this is interesting for me because I used to work for Nokia and I used to love that company and their mobile phones until they got taken over by Microsoft. Now this version of Nokia is going to run on Android, and HMD Global has bought the rights to produce Nokia mobile phones. It won't be Microsoft anymore. So I'm really excited to see what comes out from these guys. They already have a low tier and a mid tier phone, I think the 3 and the 6, and so the 9 is gonna continue as their flagship. We're talking a lot about Microsoft today, but they've come out with their new gaming console. Hey, this is the Xbox One X. This is their 4K console, and the great thing is it comes with a 4K Blu-ray drive, and it is compatible with Xbox One games library. So I guess if you already have an Xbox One, your whole library will work with this one too. A little bit of stats, this will have a powerful 8-core AMD CPU running at 2.3 gigahertz, a 6 teraflop GPU. It runs at 1.17 gigahertz, 6 teraflops. That's a lot. It's got 12 gigabytes of video RAM, and it uses liquid cooling because it will run very, very hot with all of these teraflops. You don't want the red dot from the old Microsoft consoles because it's overheating and burning up. Good move. And it will be available on November 7th for $499. Looking forward to that one. And finally, if you're into photography like I am, Canon is announcing their 6D Mark II in July sometime. I've been using the 6D Mark I for a long time, and that thing can see in the dark. Where I can't focus my eyes, that thing will capture focus. That's the original 6D. The only thing is, it only has like 9 points of autofocus, so it's kind of behind the times. I would love to see more autofocus points, and I would love to see, say, a swivel tilt screen, but on a full frame camera. So far, the tilt swivel screens on the Canons only come in APS-C sizes, which is smaller than 35 millimeter, but a larger frame tilty swivel screen for video would be just awesome. Please, Canon, make my dreams come true. Thanks for watching. This has been Tech Talk with Young John. If you liked the video, click on like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you again next time. Wait, we have the t-shirt. Yes, today's t-shirt is PayDay 2, the Crimewave edition. This is a first-person shooter type game. You're about to commit a crime. You have weapons such as, Lucille from The Walking Dead, the baseball bat with the barbed wire around it. You have your projectile weapons and all those kinds of things. And these are developed by this great company, I think in Sweden. But this is Crimewave 2. It's not just the logo. The back is also interesting. Look. Aha! I don't think you can buy this online or anything, but if you're interested, that's what it is. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you again next time. Wait, today's t-shirt is Crimewave 2. No, PayDay 2. Darn it.